Live from Hazard, Kentucky, this is Jammin John's Wrestling News. Here's your news for Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. We start off with some tragic news in the professional wrestling world. The Rougeau family issued the following statement today. It is with sadness and a lot of sorrow that we announced the death of Mr. Jacques Rougeau yesterday on July 1st, 2019, at the age of 89. He has been fighting for a while with pulmonary fibrosis, but he is still parked gently, surrounded by his family that he loves so much. The love is also shared with the public. While he has been a professional wrestler for many years, in the company of his brother Jean, he made the rain and the good weather in the four corners of Quebec, particularly in the 60s and 70s. Who don't remember his battles with the Sheik, Abdullah the Butcher, Hans Schmidt, or Maurice Vajon? He has been part of the Quebec landscape for several years, and it was important for us to share the news with all those who followed him, appreciated, and loved in his public career. He has worn a name that resonates so much in this middle and mainly in Quebec that these three sons, Raymond, Jacques, and Armand, one of his daughters, Joanne, as well as three of his grandsons, walked in his steps, working all in the middle of the struggle at one time or another. But for you, he was a popular wrestler. For us, he was a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a great and esteemed great-grandfather. He was the quiet force of our family, and his departure is and will be very painful. Media friends and fans of wrestling, we thank you for the love you have given him over the years, and be assured that this feeling was shared. The Rougeau family. I want to send good vibes and well wishes out to the Rougeau family during this very difficult time. Well, if you watched Monday Night Raw last night, you noticed that it was a whole lot different than last week's episode. The first Monday Night Raw of the Paul Heyman era drew 2.496 million viewers, which was up from last week's 2.276 million viewers. Here were the hourly numbers. At 8 p.m., 2.47 million viewers. At 9 p.m., 2.68 million viewers. And at 10 p.m., 2.35 million viewers. And if you've seen last night on Monday Night Raw, you've seen that the club was apparently back together with AJ Styles. PWInsider.com is reporting that Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have agreed to terms on a new WWE deal, but it hasn't been confirmed that the contracts have been signed just yet. Anderson and Gallows had allegedly turned down the offer earlier this year, but with the renewed push on television, it appears that the duo will be staying with the company. PWInsider.com is also reporting that Maria Kanellis is legitimately pregnant and has led to the storyline taking place on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw. Mike Johnson of PWInsider.com noted that the story that is making the rounds is that Kanellis informed WWE she was expecting again after she and Mike Kanellis signed new deals with the company. The duo are reportedly making $500,000 a year for 5 years. It's unknown what Mike Kanellis' future is since WWE did a storyline on 205 Live where he quit the brand. Brian Alvarez of F4WOnline.com was very critical about the segment between Mike and Maria Kanellis last night on Monday Night Raw. Brian Alvarez tweeted, "That Mike Kanellis segment was the biggest one-night burial of a person I've seen in WWE in years. Decades maybe in my whole life." Seth Rollins issued the following statement on Twitter regarding his tweet from last week. Seth Rollins tweeted, "After a few days to sit on it, I'd like to apologize to Will Ospreay for the tweet I sent his way about comparing bank accounts. It was dumb of me and not in line with my values. The moment I pressed the send button, I knew it was trash, but I'm too stubborn for my own good. I stand firm in my sentiments that WWE is the best pro wrestling on the planet and that I'm the best of the best doing it right now. After a hell of a week of travel, our crew didn't waver for a second. Top-level humans busting their butts for the love of the game." Rollins continued on by saying, "I couldn't be more proud to be a champion with this company and represent WWE and the entire industry in the way it deserves. No more garbage tweets. I can and will get better." According to Wade Keller of ProWrestlingTorch.com, Paul Heyman was in the gorilla position with Vince McMahon during last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, and there was said to be a cohesive understanding between the two. Dave Meltzer of F4WOnline.com noted that while Heyman had influence in the past, there is more influence now, but it's still Vince that makes the final decisions. As for Eric Bischoff, it's believed that his influence will begin to show after the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. It's still possible that Bischoff will appear on tonight's SmackDown, since he was advertised, but he isn't expected to be a regular television character moving forward. Impact Wrestling star Killer Kross teased a run with AEW by posting a photo of himself at the Double or Nothing event during the Cody and Dustin Rhodes match, and wrote underneath that photo, "The world makes madmen of us all, and even the saints are demented, nothing is saved. Charles Bukowski. Are you watching closely? Hashtag TikTok." And finally, here on Jammin' John's Wrestling News, former UFC heavyweight champion Cain Velasquez will be making his professional wrestling debut at AAA Triple Mania on August 3rd. Velasquez will be teaming up with Cody Rhodes and Psycho Clown against Texano Jr., Taurus, and a mystery partner. Very interesting stuff. That is your news for Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. Check back here tomorrow for another Jammin' John's Wrestling News Flash Briefing on Amazon Alexa devices, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher, and iTunes. Follow me on Twitter at John Caldwell, JONCOLWELL. Follow me on Instagram, The Jammin' John. If you'd like to sponsor Jammin' John's Wrestling News or your wrestling promotion, wanting to get your next big event out, you can email me, jzcaldwell@gmail.com. That's JZCOLWELL@gmail.com. Big shout out to Ryan Hurdle and Tony Nelson for subscribing to my Patreon. You too can subscribe to me by going to patreon.com/jamminjohn. I have free packages on there ranging from free to $7. Not a whole lot of money. I would really appreciate it if you supported me a little bit financially. Once again, that's patreon.com/jamminjohn. This is Jammin' John saying thanks, goodbye, and I'll see you tomorrow.